Yo guys, welcome back to LeadFoot TV. So today I am going to be doing some work on my Skyline for the first time ever on this channel. So I've got a gasket and a thermostat for the RB20 DET, and yeah, we're going to change it over. I bought them from Conceptua Tuning. I'll stick a link to them in the description down below. But yeah, basically when I bought the car, the head gasket had just been done on it, and I think either the thermostat is stuck from it being sat for so long, or somebody has taken the thermostat out when the head gasket problem occurred, just to keep it cooler. So yeah, either way, it's either stuck open or it doesn't have one in it, because it just doesn't warm up. It only gets up to temperature when it's sat still. So we're gonna swap over the thermostat. It's not long had fresh coolant in it, which is a bit annoying because I totally forgot that the thermostat had gone on it, so I stuck fresh coolant in it and then realised that the thermostat needed replacing. So yeah, one of the downsides of not driving the car for like 4 years. So yeah, let's get to it and swap these over. So yeah, my car still has the RB20 DET in it, so yeah, it's pretty much the same on the 25 DET as well, but basically this bottom radiator hose that comes up here by the alternator, and then just above the alternator is the thermostat. It's bolted in down there. There's 3 bolts holding it in. So what I'm going to do is take the rubber pipe off first, drain all the coolant out of it, and then we'll take the thermostat housing off and replace the thermostat. So once you've got the hose off here and carefully drained your fluids into a tub, yeah, there's a bolt here, one at the top that you can't quite see with the camera, but it is just down the middle of there, and then one right at the back that's going to be a bit more awkward to get to. So we'll get that off. Once I've got the thermostat off, I'll show you what it looks like, and then it'll be a bit easier to see where the bolts are, and then yeah, we'll chuck the new thermostat in with the new gasket. So pretty much as I'd guessed, there is no thermostat in there at all anyway. I think probably when the head gasket failed, somebody's whacked the thermostat out to try and temporarily fix it, but yeah, it's got no thermostat in there. As you can see, the Cometic sticker on the top, it has had the head gasket replaced on it now, so it has got a Cometic head gasket in it, and it's had a HKS timing belt on it, so it runs fine. It's just it doesn't get very warm. So we'll clean all this crap off the facing of here, and then we'll let that drain out a little bit and clean the crap off the facing on there as well, just with a little bit of emery paper. So yeah, we'll clean them up, and then I'll show you how it all goes. But basically that bolts up like that in there, so you can see where the bolts line up. One's right at the top, one's to the right, and then one round the back. It's a bit difficult to get that back one. I had to use like a wobbly extension thing to get into it, but it's not too bad. So according to the internet, this is meant to go in that way. So basically, so the line is vertical, and that little plug thing is on the top half. So yeah, basically goes in like that. So we'll put that in that way. Yeah, big side to the back, so it goes into the engine. So I will get that in now. I'll see if I can do it with the camera. So it should sit in like that. When you've got it in properly, it won't move anywhere. It'll sit there on its own. So if it's still wiggling around, you've probably not got it in right. So yeah, once we've got that there, we've just got the housing to go on, and then I have bought a gasket to go on it. A lot of people don't bother with this and they'll just put silicone around it, but I kind of just wanted to put a gasket on it and make sure it seals right. So I'm going to put the gasket on with the housing, and then it's just a case of bolting it all back together and sticking some coolant in it, and then see if we can get it to warm up. So we've got it all back together now, all 3 bolts back in, pipes back on with the Jubilee clip back on it. I'm just going to top the coolant back up I've got some G48, which is the blue coolant. It isn't actually the recommended stuff for this, but it will do the job. We'll top it back up, and I'm just going to leave it running, see if it warms up, make sure it's not leaking from the housing, because these housings can be an absolute pain to seal sometimes. I've topped up a little bit and it doesn't seem to be leaking so far. Gasket was really fiddly to get in, so like if you're doing it with the gasket, the best way I found was getting all the bolts through the gasket to hold it in place, and then trying to get it in so that the gasket didn't fall out. It was quite difficult though. So yeah, it's back in. Let's get coolant back in it and see if it holds water and make sure it warms up. So the thermostat did fix the car. Obviously it was bound to, because it didn't have one in it, but yeah, basically not having a thermostat in your car will cause the same problem, well, the same symptoms that a faulty thermostat would, because the thermostats are designed to basically fail open rather than shut, because if they fail shut, your engine overheats. It's not always the case. They do sometimes fail while they're shut, but most of the time they will fail while they're open. So what that does is basically makes the car just doesn't get up to temperature on the gauge on the dash. So it'll get up to temperature while you're sat idling. It'll take a really long time compared to normal, but as soon as you start moving and there's airflow coming through, the thermostat isn't there to regulate the heat, so it's yeah, it'll just go cold, and basically the gauge will drop right to the bottom, and as you're moving slower, sometimes it'll creep up a little bit, but it just won't sit level in the middle where it's meant to. So that is the symptoms for it if you have the same problem. The thermostat fixed it. It drives loads better now. Actually, it feels like it has a bit more power, because obviously it's not running cold. I did try not to rag it while the thermostat wasn't working, because obviously, yeah, I don't want to rag it on a cold engine, but it does seem to pull a bit more smoothly, and it's getting miles better MPG now. So yeah, that's one nice problem sorted. I do have some more interesting videos coming soon. I'm just trying to work my way through all the maintenance stuff on it, because obviously the car's been sat for 4 years now, while I've been doing all the bodywork and stuff on it. So I've been yeah, just gathering some parts. I will have some more videos coming on the car soon. I'm just gathering parts at the moment so that I can just kind of crack on with it and just do like one job after the other. But yeah, I have ordered some stuff to service it, because yeah, with it being sat for 4 years, I'm trying to get on top of the maintenance. This turned up in the post as I was leaving, is my HKS oil filter for it, and it's so small. Like I thought it'd be much bigger than that. I think it's pretty much the same as a K11 microfilter. It's tiny anyway. So yeah, I've got the oil filter, so obviously I'm going to change the oil on it. I've got a fuel filter on the way, some spark plugs, ordered all of that from Conceptua Tuning. They're a great place to get your parts from if you've got Skyline. They have absolutely everything you'll ever need. So yeah, definitely recommend Conceptua. I have no affiliation with them. They've just been a great company that I've used for bits for my Skyline and my previous S bodies as well. So yeah, Conceptua are a great place to get bits from. I generally get all my service bits and stuff from them, just because they're just such an easy company to use. Everything turns up on time, and the customer service is really good. So yeah, I've got all the service bits. I have bought a gearbox, so if you've watched the previous videos, the gearbox in the Skyline is automatic. I do want to change that, because obviously it's not great. So I have bought a gearbox. The gearbox needs a rebuild, so I need to get a rebuild kit for it. They're roughly about 350 quid for a full set of synchros and stuff. So I need to wait a while to get that, because obviously I've just bought this Subaru. So yeah, I've got the synchros to get for the gearbox, so that I can get the gearbox fully rebuilt before I put it in, just because I want to make sure it's right. And the guy that I bought it off said there was a bit of a crunch in second. So yeah, I want to get it rebuilt, and it's not quite as simple as just dropping a box in it. I've got to so obviously I need the gearbox. It doesn't have a shifter in the gearbox that I bought, so I have been in touch with Cube Speed, and they are going to supply me with a shifter. and help me out, which is really cool. Really appreciate them like supporting a small YouTuber. So yeah, CubeSpeed are gonna hook me up with a shifter at a very discounted price. So I will get a shifter off them, and then I need a front half of a prop shaft off a manual car. I need the gearbox mount, the cradle that goes under the back off an S13. Then you need the clutch, the flywheel, the pilot bearing off a manual car, the clutch pedal, which I've already got. I bought a clutch pedal years ago just because it came up and I knew that they were going to be a nightmare to find. So I've got a clutch pedal and a master cylinder, so I just need a clutch line and a slave cylinder, and then we're pretty much good to go. So I'm just gathering all those parts and kind of like buying a little bit at a time, just so I'm not like breaking the bank every month. So yeah, I'm gathering parts for that, and then I've got some other stuff to do once the manual box is in. So I've got front mount intercooler sat there waiting to go on. I've got a full Cusco roll cage to go in once I find some better seats, because the stock seats sit too high, so my head's really close to the cage. But yeah, loads of stuff to do on the Skyline, so make sure you stay tuned. It'll probably be a little while before I like proper hammer out the videos on that car, just because I'm trying to gather everything so that I can just like get in the zone and just get it all done at once. So yeah, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already, to follow some more Skyline content. And if you want to look at the Skyline in a bit more detail, check out this video here. This is the intro to my Skyline once I got it back from the body shop. And yeah, peace out. See you in the next one.